Yes, brothers and sisters, we are back again for what? The second reaction video of this Misuse vibrations. Of course, the very first one will be where in the first comment in the comment box below, guys, on the Misuse reaction, guys. And of course, welcome to this Brbptv platform. And of course, with that said, guys, let us get into the vibration. But don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that right there and then. Anyways, guys, let us get into the vibrations. Of course, this is none other than Mr. Lennox Linton's voice right there, an audio he sent out on the regards of the Dominica'S independence. 45, brothers and sisters, 45 years that we're celebrating. What exactly is that? Of course, we're gonna hear from Mr. Lennox Linton right there.
My brothers and sisters of Dominica, in the last 2 decades, we have been slipping deeper and deeper into the disgraces of a failed independent state where the control of the economy and the social service delivery system has been surrendered to foreigners. While we stand
That's true. I mean, it's very evident. Is what he's saying a lie or is it true? What are your thoughts, guys? I think what he's saying, based off what I see, is actually true. What are your thoughts, guys? Give your thoughts in the comment box below.
Stand aside and look. Misleaders in government are using our own money from the sale of Dominican citizenship to take us back to the dark days of colonialism for their personal gain.
That's another point right there. Are we elevating? Is there any advancement? Can you truly say that you are independent in regards to you doing things for yourself, and as a result of what the country has produced for you, and you decided that's the best place for you to elevate? Or are you feeling stagnant with all the monies that has been created through CBI, brothers and sisters, even before the European Union, not European Union, but UK put restrictions on Dominica? All the monies that has been created, what exactly is it doing it to benefit the people? Or is it benefiting certain people and businesses? How is it benefiting the local man? What are your thoughts, guys?
The nation was told that answers to such requests would put to shame those advocating for the citizenship by investment program to be properly run in the public interest.
I am 100% sure that when the final tabulations are made, Lennox Linton will once again bring shame and disgrace to the party that he leads and to this country that he claims to love.
It's interesting that this Prime Minister is talking about country that you love. But when you look at Dominica, Dominica is not getting any better. People are getting less money, inflation, the money value itself. Brothers and sisters, let me break down something for you. Money value is depleting. It is going down. Value of money is going down, whereas the cost of living is going up. Your salary is not going up. It's either staying the same or going slightly a little up, if that is the case right there. Whereas money has been skyrocketing. The expenses that you have to pay have been skyrocketing, brothers and sisters. Some people are even living hand to mouth. They're living just hand, you know. They're not even coming to the mouth, because by the time the hand reaches the mouth, there's nothing there for the mouth to eat.
That he claims to love. He will once again prove himself unfit and unsuited, not only to hold the office of Prime Minister, but more so to preside over the vital Ministry of Finance.
Skerrit, what are you talking about, man? Bro, you have proven to us that you do not hold the capacity to be Prime Minister. You also have proven to us that you do not hold the capacity to be Financial Minister. I mean, things have to go up in a place. Marcus, if you have a business and the business is not doing well, what do? You close down the business. But since you can't close down Dominica, you realize, hey, let's just run Dominica to the ground. But that's what it seems like is happening. Because is Dominica elevating? Brothers and sisters, help me understand. Is Dominica elevating? We celebrate 45 years of independence. 45 years. That means you are getting into a stage where you're almost half your lifespan, brothers and sisters. Half your lifespan. And there are individuals alive who saw Dominica when it was on zero. 1978, zero, brothers and sisters, to the point now where they're looking at Dominica. Is Dominica elevating? Ask them. They will tell you that Dominica has gone to the dogs. It's unfortunate, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes.
Forward to him making a further fool of himself in the weeks ahead, when his $1.2 billion allegations is tackled by the accounting officers head on. So tonight, I say to Lennox Linton, this Labour Party government in Dominica will, from September 19th of this year, show exactly where and how every single cent was raised and spent for and on behalf of the people of Dominica.
Brothers and sisters, it sounds nice. Oh, we finally gonna show him where it is. You know, where the monies went, and he will shut up forevermore.
Dominica.
That was September 2019.
September 2019. September 2019. 4 years ago, he said that. Up to now. You see, it sounds nice because it sounds nice that that's what the people want to hear. You know, I say a lot of nice things because that's what they want to hear. It gives them a level of hope. Brothers and sisters, this is why I tell individuals, we need to have hope. That's a positive thing, you know. We need to have hope like a labor right. Nobody has stronger hope than labor rights. Nobody. Dominica Labour Party, nobody has stronger hopes than labor rights themselves. So since 2019, he said that September, we are now in 2023 going into 2024. 4 years, brothers and sisters, nothing come from it. You see what I'm talking about? All right.
More than 4 years later, we are still waiting. With billions of dollars belonging to the people of Dominica under private control in overseas bank accounts, the ruling party, under instructions from its foreign masters, refuses to provide an adequate package of financial assistance for the people of Dominica who are losing their jobs, their businesses, their means of livelihood in this government-inflicted economic crisis. But the ruling
government-inflicted crisis. This is no other person, no hurricane to blame. Government-inflicted crisis, brothers and sisters. That should tell you a lot. That should tell you something. It's government-inflicted on the people. Is it true? What are your thoughts, guys? Do you think it's true? Is it government? Is it truly government-inflicted? Another question I would ask. If it's not government-inflicted, is it people-inflicted via the government on themselves? I would ask that. That's an interesting question right here.
Economic crisis. But the ruling party is taking care of its own at the expense of a suffering nation.
That's when the CBI monies come in, it goes to different hotels and different things. Doesn't really do nothing for the people. You build houses for the people, they themselves cannot own it. They cannot own it. The very Prime Minister himself stated that the houses that they are built, all the houses being built, are state-owned. The people cannot own them. You can't go to the bank and say, hey, I want to get a loan to send my child to school or something. No. You live there because they are allowed to live there, and the reason why they live in you living there, most likely should shut you up. Not even their money they use in you, your money they taking to use on you to shut you up. That is how they song like that. It's interesting, eh? It's very interesting.
$1,000 per month of poor people's money to rent a mansion for the Prime Minister. 20, but the ruling party is taking care at the expense of a suffering nation. Over $70,000 per month of poor people's money to rent a mansion for the Prime Minister.
Over 70,000. Didn't the Prime Minister say that they're going to be living in the mansion because they're building their own house? Well, apparently I heard that the house is stopped. The reason why the house is stopped because apparently some family issues that they're having where the house is being built. But the mansion that they're building is far bigger than the two others that they stayed in a country you claim that has serious struggles. The best thing you decide to do during the whole Rona situation, injection situation where things are stopped and blocked and all this kind of something there, you decide during that time to start building your new mansion. In crisis in Dominica, when you want to tell Dominican people, oh, things are bad everywhere. Apparently not bad for you. You building a mansion, a bigger one. What I know.
Send salary increases for the Prime Minister and government ministers while thousands of struggling
with 10 salary increases,
their means of livelihood in this government-inflicted economic crisis. But the ruling party is taking care of its own at the expense of a suffering nation. Over $70,000 per month of poor people's money to rent a mansion for the Prime Minister. 20 to 30% salary increases for the Prime Minister and government ministers, while thousands of struggling public servants are.
This is why I believe that the Prime Ministers them should only get paid based on merit. The people are already taking care of them, they take care of their accommodations, this kind of things there, fine. When you do something great, that's how you should get paid. That's why I believe it should be. If things were like this, brothers and sisters, a lot of the problems that we have today would not exist. If people were getting paid, the government officials were getting paid based off merit, they would not just want to go and become government and just sit and do nothing for the people. You should get paid on the merit. The people handle the accommodations, they handle the food that you eat, flights, all the things there. And when you do things that elevate the people, that's how you should get paid. That's what I believe. What are your thoughts?
Over $200 million from the sale of Dominican passports spent every year to employ foreigners in jobs that can be done by Dominicans.
We will do a reaction on that tomorrow, brothers and sisters. We have to do a reactions on that. Tune in tomorrow as well.
Can be done by Dominicans struggling to survive and sinking deeper into poverty.
So although we have all these celebrations, World Korea Music Festival, Cultural Gala, what else it had, brothers and sisters, TV Last Korea, we have all these celebrations. Most likely celebrations for the individuals overseas to come and enjoy themselves in Dominica. To say, hey, I'm from Dominica, I'm back in my home country and enjoyment I'm having. Sure, nothing wrong with that, guys. But when it comes down to the living conditions of the nature of the Caribbean, brothers and sisters, that is a problem. That is a problem. Money is going overseas, foreigners coming in to handle the only growth factor in Dominica, the construction industry. Foreigners that are handling it. And then the people of the country have to go and beg your own country, beg, just like how they bring in water from all over the place. And you wonder about water, while we have 365 rivers. How we bringing in water from overseas? It's not, guys, this is something I see for myself. Hey, boy, land that have 365 rivers. We have 365 outside bottles of water from different places. I don't know, but it seems like that is the case. Boy, yes, Jack.
Dollars paid every year to foreigners to market the Citizenship by Investment program. No bid contracts to foreign companies for all major infrastructure projects. Nothing for local builders and contractors. The $1 billion contract for an international airport for the people of Dominica to be paid for by the people of Dominica was granted by a foreigner to a foreign company on foreign soil. Not one of the people of Dominica was present. $370 million spent so far on an international airport.
And we do see an international airport yet. $370 million spent for international airport. And we do see an international airport yet. They do the boreholes yet now?
Airport with no soil studies.
So that don't happen yet. Guys, in 2000 they had done soil studies for the international airport under the United Workers' Party. You know that, right? They had done the soil studies. And because it's not them, we don't want that area again. We'll do our own. Struggle! Wasting monies that can be used to help and do other things in Dominica to help the people. They're wasting money now. This is one of the reasons why I believe is washing money, guys. Wash! Dominica washing money while the individuals at the top. I strongly believe that. Because that's the only thing that makes sense.
And no final designs. And precious little for the people of Dominica.
So they have no final designs, yet still we building the airport.
A mockery of our independence 45 years later than this cruel handover of Dominica's financial resources to foreign controllers of the ruling party.
The law says the money is supposed to be in Dominica's consolidated fund. All money is raised for Dominica is supposed to be in Dominica's consolidated fund. They say no. They have foreigners have boy.
Handover of Dominica's financial resources to foreign controllers of the ruling party. The sale of our passports, the proud emblem of citizenship, the very element within our national revenue stream intended to improve our quality of life, is being used to cripple the character of our nation and cast the darkest clouds over 23 as president of the United Workers' Party.
Guys, all what he's saying is facts. All what he's saying is facts. Facts are there. It's not rumor. Facts.
I wrote to the Prime Minister requesting resolution of the problem with our missing CBI billions. I share the contents of that letter, which was copied to the representatives of the European Union and the United States in the Eastern Caribbean. As you're aware, following the July 2023 United Kingdom imposition of visa restrictions on Dominican citizens, the European Union has urged citizens by investment countries.
Guys, no, he's not talking about, he was just mentioning United Kingdom, eh? Now he's talking about European Union. Okay? Remember the guidelines that they had? One of the things from CBI, if you're using CBI funds, it's supposed to come back to the country. Remember when they said that? Oh, okay. That's one of the stipulations that they have for them to continue visa-free. Brothers and sisters, on the basis of visa-free, the question is, are we going to lose it? Because it seems like our leaders don't seem to care how it affects the people. If they did care, we would still have visa-free travel to the United Kingdom today. But because they don't care, I mean, come on. If I don't care about you, if I let my children born overseas and I am the Prime Minister of a country, doesn't that show something of how I really feel about you? Doesn't that say something? The Prime Minister of a country make his children born overseas to have betterment. It is very Prime Minister that's supposed to make betterment for the very country, for his little ones to grow in. He do. I mean, come on. I mean, come on.
By investment countries to implement stricter rules to ensure security and safety of the European region.
Yep.
Of the 6 guidelines presented by the EU to help CBI countries prevent abuse of the program for illicit activities such as money laundering, financing of terrorism, human trafficking, and tax evasion, guideline number 5 is of particular importance to Dominica.
I just said that.
Flow of funds must be properly monitored and verified against strict money laundering processes. This includes the requirement that the investment funds should be transferred directly to the host country under all circumstances and must not be diverted to accounts in other countries.
That's how it should be. The very laws of Dominica stated this. They also said, hey, you want to have visa free, we also need to ensure that there's no sort of craziness going on. All monies need to come to where? Dominica. It needs to come to the home country. If you want to keep visa free in these countries, they need to come to where? The monies from CBI need to come to the home country, the host country. Simple, that makes sense, no?
Over the past 10 years, consistent with the recent EU Guideline 5, we have asked repeatedly for all revenues from citizenship by investment to be directly transferred to and spent from the Consolidated Fund of Dominica as required by the Constitution or Supreme Law.
Yep.
Section 76 of the Constitution provides that, quote, all revenues or other monies raised or received by Dominica, not being revenues or other monies that are payable by or under any law for the time being in force in Dominica into some other fund established for a specific purpose, shall be paid into and from the Consolidated Fund.
Yep.
These revenues raised from the Citizenship by Investment program of the State of Dominica for housing in the State of Dominica are public funds and properly belong in the Treasury, the Consolidated Fund of the State of Dominica. There is no law requiring such revenues to be paid into some other fund established for a specific purpose. They must be received into and disbursed from the Consolidated Fund. Instead of obeying the Constitution and complying with the rule of law, you developed, promoted and defended an illegal scheme with Anthony Hayden of Montreal Management Company for funding the construction of houses under the CBI program. This arrangement, using the people's money from the sale of the people's passports to fund housing for the people, unlawfully diverts the people's money away from the Consolidated Fund into special privately operated accounts.
So how then can we track how much money is being raised? How then can we track how the money is being used? Huh? Imagine the country raising monies and you don't know how the money being used, and that same money that the country raised, selling your birthright to other people, is then being used against you. Imagine that. Your own country's money that's supposed to be helping you is being used to keep you down. The money that is supposed to be used to elevate you, build the economy so that you can be independent and truly elevate yourself. Utilize what the country has. I'm just thinking of the water situation, guys. The water, boy, I tell you, that is something else.
2019, with respect to the illegal MMCE cash option, you told the nation.
Every one of these houses that we are building under the CBI program belong to the state.
To the state. It doesn't belong to you. Every one of these houses that was built by CBI program, brothers and sisters, belong to the state based on what is being stated right there. Bring it back.
Using the people's money from the sale of the people's passports to fund housing for the people unlawfully diverts the people's money away from the consolidated fund into special privately operated accounts. In 2019, with respect to the illegal MMCE cash option, you told the nation.
Every one of these houses that we are building under the CBI program belong to the state. 100%.
Not 50%, not 75, not 95, not 99.99995%. 100%, you see. Not me that say that. But you think you have house. Oh, okay. You think you have apartment, man. All right.
Asset. So otherwise, if we did not have the housing, or if we did not go with the housing program in the way that we went, that all of this revenue would go to the state. And then
obviously.
Of the estimates,
yes,
of the public sector investment program. Had we included this in the estimates, the budget would not be $1.1 billion.
So it was not included in the estimates. So how can we know exactly how much money was being put into the buildings? What if somebody said the buildings cost $100,000? It's not too far-fetched to say. Things like this have been done before. When in fact the buildings themselves cost $40,000. They say it costs $100,000, but in fact it costs $40,000. I mean, how do we know exactly? You know, you get my point?
This in the estimates, the budget would not be $1.1 billion. It would be about $2 billion, $2.2 billion.
Sir, going with the housing program in the way that we went was unlawful. As you well know, there are two lawful investment options to qualify for citizenship under the CBI. One, an investment in the Government Development Fund, option 1, in which revenues are deposited in the consolidated fund, and B, an investment in real estate, option 2, in which revenues are held in escrow accounts for investment projects. These are the only options that are provided for in the regulations. There is no provision for an MMCE cash option, so it is unlawful for MMCE, a private company, to deposit CBI monies to fund housing and other public business into privately operated accounts.
It goes the same thing for the airport. You shouldn't be saying, oh, people out there selling passports to raise monies. Suppose they raise $5 billion out there. And they only sending $1 billion, 1.3 billion dollars to build airport. What about the $3.7 billion? What about the $3.7 billion? We won't know. So the money is supposed to come to the consolidated fund. When it's in the consolidated fund, then it can be used. Okay, we have this company doing these things, we have this company doing that, and that money then will say, okay, we have this money flowing out. That's how it should be. But since that's not happening, there's literally no accountability factor. None. Zero. Boy.
Funding arrangements and no bid contracts for the international airport and other pieces of the national economic infrastructure for the benefit of Hayden and MMCE. Most importantly, the illegalities you have chosen to engage have caused billions of dollars from the sale of Dominican citizenship, unaccounted for in Parliament, to be privatized into the control of foreign friends and associates of the cabinet of ministers.
Brothers and sisters, the people in the country now. Foreign people, they put in foreigners above Dominican people. This is why a number of persons saying, oh, Chinese are taking over Dominica and all the kind of people. It seems like that is the case. Because when you have the foreigners are the ones been handling the bulk of the funds that come into Dominica, because we don't have agriculture, they don't push in for agriculture. Tourism itself is a joke. I don't know what on earth they do in tourism, but they saying tourism is all business, is everybody's business. Like that! Like that there. But on the basis of this whole thing, brothers and sisters, this money is supposed to be coming into Dominica to help Dominicans. And you're telling Dominicans this, and they're fighting you on that way. They're fighting you on that way. Brothers and sisters, the money is supposed to be coming in to help you, to help your children, to help build the schools, advance education, advance technology, advance a number of things. And they're fighting you on that way. Just like the bus, I was mentioning the bus situation. That's crazy. Bus drivers protesting for betterment. Bus drivers protesting against the same bus drivers. Oh yeah. As if they're not been affected in the same economy. Oh, and when something finally happened now, these very bus drivers protesting against these bus drivers, they were also there to benefit. Boy, it's like a whole joke that happened in the circus. It's circus that happened in there.
Associates of the Cabinet of Ministers. So, from the 40,273 citizenships sold for the 7-year period, July 1st, 2016 to June 30th, 2023.
40,000 passports sold, 40,000+.
The Treasury, the Consolidated Fund, only received 2.7 billion EC dollars. That is 68,084 EC dollars per citizen instead of the $227,573 per citizen, or $9.1 billion EC in total that should have been collected, leaving an unaccounted balance of 6.4 billion EC dollars. 6,400 million EC dollars.
You know what that is?
How?
I mean, 6,000 people can get $1 million from it. 6,000 people, brothers and sisters.
To honestly say to the people of Dominica, sir, that in the last 7 years, Dominica has only received an average of 68,084 EC dollars, or $25,327 US dollars per passport sold under the Citizenship by Investment Program. Yet you have branded those who have been advocating for administration of CBI funds according to the rule of law as enemies of the state, and you have indulged in incitement to murder by likening their criticisms to attacks on Dominica deserving of deadly response.
We must treat these attacks on Dominica as if you have someone outside your personal home.
You know, it's like a thief telling somebody else, somebody thieving, and the person. It's like let me break it down. It's like a thief coming up to your house to scope the area to tell it they're going to thief, but then they're going to tell you that somebody else, and they call the person by name, going to thief. And when the person come to tell you, hey, there's the individual that just come by your house, come to thief, they already have it in their head that it is you, the thief, tell you come to thief. That, boy, that is something else, right? That is something else, boy. The thief coming to tell you somebody else come to thief, and the person coming to warn you about the very thief. But because the person, the thief, come and tell you that somebody else coming to thief, they refuse to take your advice and take the thief advice, to the point where the thief would be even invited into your house. And you would reward them. Hey, here's some cake, here's some fruit cake and some sorrel juice. Yes, here's some fruit cake and sorrel juice for telling me that the very innocent man is not the thief, but you have it in your head that that person is the thief. That's what happened in there. That's what Skerrit doing. Said Lennox is the one when he's the one doing. Boy, that is something else. Psychology is something special. If you don't understand psychology, guys, you'll forever be bamboozled. You know, forever be bamboozled. Anyways, let's continue.
Personal home, stolen your home and breaking your windows and doors, and want to set your house on fire with you and your family in it. Because that is what these guys are doing to Dominica.
So why you send your children to born overseas? You so care about Dominica. You send them born overseas and you're prime minister. Huh? Why? Oh, I can send my children overseas, for hospital attention, like healthcare, whatever. And then you're asking the people, what about you? And they clapping. Yay!
Dominica'S CBI program in the public interest of Dominica. The EU is emphasizing the importance of direct transfer of CBI funds to Dominica without any diversions to accounts in other nations.
And if that doesn't happen, guess what? The EU is going to put visa restrictions on Dominica if Dominica does not adhere to this. And most likely Dominica will not adhere to it. You know the story in the book where God hardens Pharaoh's heart? Remember that story? So Pharaoh seen all sorts of things happening in the environment. Frog coming, blood in water, all sorts of things happening. He's still not listening. The Bible says God hardens his heart, gets stubborn. And his firstborn when his firstborn, that's why he said, get them out. I suspect that's what happened in Skerrit's heart, because he cannot seem to see. I mean, stop while you're ahead now. Stop. Stop. You gone far already. Stop. Before you end up in trouble, mes amis. Stop. Start doing things that can elevate the people. Stop it.
The intention is to ensure transparency, traceability, and the legitimate use of funds in the CBI programs.
Yep.
The EU says, quote, by insisting that all investment funds reach the host country directly, this principle strengthens the financial integrity and accountability of CBI programs, end of quote. Once again, on behalf of the people of Dominica, we ask that you, 1, immediately discontinue the unlawful practice of holding CBI revenues in private accounts overseas, and 2, disclose and properly account for all revenues collected and spent under the program.
And he said that he'll do that where? When? In September of 2019. That's when he said that, brothers and sisters. 4 years later, that hasn't been done yet. And he came to the people, guys, he will look like a fool. Blah, 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 blah. 4 years later, nothing yet.
The program. That's the end of the letter. And I'm asking again, haven't we in Dominica had enough independence celebrations in organized hypocrisy and self-hate? In this day and age, impoverished citizens yearning for a better life are being enslaved by ruling party puppets of their passport selling masters behind the bars of need for food, clothing, and shelter assistance provided by the state, while foreigners are allowed to plunder hundreds of millions of dollars from the public purse with impunity. The independence to run our own affairs that we gleefully embraced on November 3rd, 1978, is working wonders for the multi-million-dollar benefit of foreign friends of the ruling party.
Remember when Skerrit them stated that they got a gift from a friend, a truck, what is it, a Jeep Wrangler, whatever, some vehicle. I think it's $250,000 for the vehicle from friends overseas.
Ruling party. It is not working for the farmers, the fishermen, the nurses, the teachers, the police officers.
Nobody. It's not working for the economy is not working for nobody.
The doctors, the lawyers, the businessmen and women, the shopkeepers, the disappearing middle class, the clerks, the carpenters, the masons, the electricians, the plumbers, the rich, the poor, the unemployed, the youth, the elderly, the leaders of church. The nature island people of Dominica from all walks of life know and understand that in the last 20 years we have been reversing into the dark ages where our ancestors fought against the odds for our freedom.
I remember they had this statue of the maroon individual. The guy, the big statue. Freedom, man. Freedom. He has his hand in chains, burst chains. His statue have his hands. And I wonder, and people don't really know what that means, boy. People don't seem to understand what that means. We have a big statue with chains on his hands. It broke off. Shackles, brothers and sisters. but we are still some sort of mental slaves for some interesting. I don't understand. It's like we're seeing things out there and we know that it's out there, but it's like, oh, whatever.
For all Dominicans, for lives that matter. Dominica has been taken away from us. Yes, Dominica has been taken away from us. Nukite yo point Dominic Hodnu. Now we must rescue Dominica from captivity.
Is it too late though? Is it too late to rescue Dominica? Because right now, if you understand psychology and the mind of human beings, brothers and sisters, right now we're in the calming stage because we accept what is happening as culture. We accept that what is happening now is a norm. When people used to go and beg prime ministers them, oh, but give me something on, that used to be frowned upon. Frowned upon, people begging. Now that is a culture now in election. Come in and hand you $300. Look, $300. Look, come and vote for $300. Look.
Now we must rescue Dominica from captivity. We must take it back. So let us stand for right and rescue our country, resolute in the conviction that the dream of independence, the hope for freedom, happiness, truth, righteousness, justice, and human dignity will be relentlessly pursued and never abandoned in this blessed land. I thank you. God bless you.
In this blessed land, in this blessed land, Dominica is blessed indeed. Dominica actually sustains its people. The fruits, the water, which apparently we don't seem to take care of. Brothers and sisters, for the first time I hear right now, we don't have fruits. For the first time in my life, I hear we do have fruits. Fruit season, we have watermelon season, we have number. What season now in Dominica? First time I hear that, I know we have fruits all year round. I come back and I hear we do have fruits. What fruits are in season now? You guys know? You guys know? Let me know what fruits are in season now, because I myself, I hear people saying that. More than one person saying what is in season now. Came down people to brothers and sisters. Guys, I'm just here to point out things to you guys. What are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. I just shared my thoughts, my views. What are yours? You know, what are yours? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. This is your boy Mr. Leaks on Brbptv, guys. Remember, guys, be real. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on that post notification. Don't forget to check out the previous one I did in the first comment in the comment box below, guys, on the Mr. Leaks Reacts. And of course, with that said, guys, be real, be positive.